There's an upcoming event in New York bringing together international investors and those in the financial community to initiate ideas, talk about business, and just get together and kind of share what's going on in their particular industry. So with me today, the CEO of Bervann Capital, Tariq Hussain. Welcome. Also, we've got Maureen Orlando, the president of MTO Financial Services.
Hello.
Thank you for coming. And also, Teuta Sahatqija. Am I close with that? We'll make sure we spell it right. We'll at least get that. Consul General of Kosovo. So great to have you guys here.
Thanks.
Tariq, let's start with you. So let's start with the event and tell me about that, and then we'll kind of broaden the discussion a little bit about what's going on in international investing. So what are you doing on August 19th?
Sure. August 19th, Bervann Capital is hosting a international investment summit. It's a gala format that's going to be on Monday, August 19th. The focus of our event is it's not just about just business networking as you've normally seen. Our idea is more about relationship building. We came in and we did this first event back in December of 2018. And the whole idea behind that is that we've seen a lot of people going to events, going to networking events. You walk around a big room, you hand out a bunch of business cards. You go home, you look at your business cards, some of the stuff you can't remember who's who, and it's gotten a little bit cold back then. You've had 5 minutes to talk to each person. And what we wanted to do in our December event was to create a platform where people can really get to know each other. So rather than creating a big open format, we had one where we focused investors and capital seekers would meet individually, and we would pair them and screen them, pre-screen everybody, and they would meet in a conference room setting and have half an hour to discuss and really talk to each other about things. Capital seekers obviously bringing their pitch for their particular business, but more importantly, it was about relationship building. And business, and this is our feeling, and of course this is the feeling that we think a lot of people share, business is a lot about trust, and it's a lot about the relationship you have, a long-term relationship. And what we've seen is things come down to about what can you do for me now, what can you do for me immediately,
right, yeah.
Immediate gains, and that tends to close the door of business. And what we want is to have this door wide open. So our events are focused on really getting people together and creating an environment of trust and relationship building.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. It sounds like building, because it's a process.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, to build a business and to get somebody to invest in your business, everything's a process,
Right.
It seems like. So this is really the philosophy that you have about
Right,
this.
and then this, so the last two events were more focused on that individual pairing of investor and capital seeker over the course of a couple of days. This event coming up is going to be a mix of both. So you have your gala sort of event where you will have investors, family offices, institutional investors, private equity firms, venture capital. You'll have everybody there, the who's who. You have obviously people from different governments. You have diplomats from various countries attending. So you have a very international investors. You also have people representing government entities. So you'll have the opportunity to walk around and network and do that. But at the same time, there's extra layers to the event. If you're a startup and you have a company and you really want to be seen, you want visibility, you can come to the event and you can go for one of our one-on-one meetings that we help you pair. So we'll pre-screen you first to make sure that you're legit, and then we do that process, and then we'll set up meetings privately with the type of investors that we know that think will be interested in your thing, and you'll have the opportunity to sit one-on-one with them and give your investment pitch, but also introduce you yourself as a person, because the first thing someone wants to know before we start getting to numbers and your projections is like, who are you and why are you doing this?
Right.
And that's the key of, and the event tries to bring that out. We also have a format where someone can come and have a room and pitch to a room of maybe 3 or 4 people, investors, and kind of get their idea out. So the event is kind of like multi-layered. So there's that gala kind of feel where you can go around and see a big room and network with all kinds of people. And it also has this, one-on-one element. It has the element where you can pitch to a smaller group. And so we try to bring all that together.
Now, Maureen, you've been attending these.
Right.
So what benefit is it to you? What do you get out of this?
Well,
what does MTO get?
The first benefit is the atmosphere is totally different than any other conference that you go to. Like, people generally want to get to know you. So I've been to a couple of the events, and I've made friends that call me for my advice on experience with outsourcing and operations. That's what MTO does. But it's really making a bond. So you're not even pulling out that business card. You might actually forget, and they'll be like, "Oh wait, can I have your business card?" Because they really want to get to know you. So I just felt such a different atmosphere at the first event. They have family offices there, investment company, funds. So when it comes from MTO, our clients hit all those different areas. So we really have the expertise. I've been in the industry for almost 30 years, and we really could help out. But it's so important. The first time I went in December, I couldn't believe the different atmosphere that was there, that really people making friends, and and the customization, depending what you need, what your product is. The first conference, I did a lunch and I spoke to numerous people, and everybody talking about operations and reporting. It's something that people really don't talk about, but since they knew I was going to be there, they had their questions in the back of their head, and then we talked about it. So it really covers so many different avenues, and it's really refreshing that it's like quality time that you get.
You get some value.
Exactly.
Out of your time.
Exactly.
And the people that are
Yeah.
there,
So it's a great concept.
And Teuta, talk to me about Kosovo. Like, what's going on there in terms of business? And it sounds like there's a lot of exciting things happening.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you first, what do you know about Kosovo? But you made that question to me. I think this is good. It means that Kosovo is not very well known. Unfortunately, the latest news about Kosovo was 20 years old news about the war. Kosovo today is totally different Kosovo. It is Kosovo in development. It is a country that has very strategic position within European continent. It is very near to seaports. It is very near. For hour and a half or 2 hours, you reach every capitals of Europe. We have very vibrant young population. Median average age is 27 years old. English is widely spoken, and finding people who speak 4, 5, 6 languages in Kosovo is something very usual. I speak only 6. And, the internet penetration is far best in complete European Union, is 88% of territory and of population is covered by internet. It's according to New York Times, the best macchiato is in Kosovo.
Really? Well, that's worth it, just that. Yeah.
It's becoming very touristic place. IT is one of very important economic sectors. Mining, infrastructure is one of, not one, it's the best in our region. We have the very qualitative highways that connect Kosovo with all neighboring countries. For 2 hours, you can reach from Pristina to Tirana and to the Durrës port immediately.
Maureen, talk to me about family offices. What are you seeing their interests are gravitating to lately?
Well, when it comes to investing, these portfolios are so vast, and they're hitting all the asset classes and global. And tracking these investments you have so much cash going in so many directions. So that's where MTO comes into play, that we could do the back office, the operations, and the reporting of tracking all these investments globally, real estate, venture capital, private equity. So that's where it comes. It's, a lot of these family offices are almost like their own entity, their own company. So they could have a portfolio manager there, an accountant, a lawyer, and operations is a big part of any business. So that's where MTO comes into play, tracking all those investments and operations.
Now, Tariq, finally, so as I was taking a look at the website for the event, there was a lot, we think startups, tech, but you had fashion and sports and a lot of different industries. So this isn't just for, somebody's got a hot new tech idea.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is, we're, as you say, sector agnostic, so people come from various different sectors. Sports is something that we think is growing, getting bigger. I think I was speaking to the Madam Ambassador about how the basketball as a global phenomenon is growing even more and more. And countries like in Africa, you see basketball becoming more popular, and countries like Kosovo, you can see that they would benefit from having more involvement in American sports like basketball. So we see sports as an area that's constantly growing. Technology is something that kind of underlies all these areas. And one of the things that I'm seeing as coming up as a trend, a lot of our investment and investment that we're seeing from other places, is going into technology, into areas that previously weren't that technologically advanced. So we're seeing investment into areas like technology that would create a dashboard for a wedding banquet hall that the bride and groom can control along with the venue, how they manage and plan their wedding out. We're seeing technology in a lot more technology in the area of food services. We have the Uber Eats and the DoorDash. I think you're going to see more and more technology into areas where they try to shorten that time of delivery. And of course, the biggest thing that we're seeing is artificial intelligence. And a lot of the investment that we're seeing is flowing into artificial intelligence. And it's going to be something that, like I said, underlies all those industries, sports, fashion, everything is going to be, you're going to see artificial intelligence kind of coming into all those areas. Yeah.
Okay, well, very interesting, and best of luck with your conference. It sounds fascinating. I think I'm going to go for a while, so I think that'll be great.
That'd be great.
So thank you so much, Tariq and Maureen and Teuta. Thank you for coming. And thank you as well for joining us. I'm Jane King at the Nasdaq Market Site.